A few years ago, when I was still a Hollywood editor working on marketing for Disney and Marvel movies, I guess I wasn't quite performing up to snuff because I got a visit from my producer and the vice president. And this is what they said. My name is Trevor Jones. If this is your first time here, I'm the Hollywood editor turned full-time real estate agent, and on this channel I teach real estate agents to grow their businesses by creating better videos so they can sell more houses. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to, like grow your business and stuff. When the producer and the VP came into my office, their message was simple. They said, Trevor, you need to tell stories with your cuts. A cut is like a TV spot, like a commercial. And I said, guys, some of these cuts are like 15 seconds long. With the required intro and the required end page, that gives me 7 or 8 seconds to tell a story. You can't tell a story in 7 or 8 seconds. Plus, a lot of these videos are for 8-year-olds. They don't care about story. They just want to see Hulk punch Thor in the face. Guess what? I was wrong. When creating videos to grow your real estate business, or any business for that matter, story is everything. If you haven't seen it yet, I created a video right here that explains exactly why that is. I know a lot of you may think, I'm just not a great storyteller. I mean, heck, I was an editor for like 15 years and I was basically told that I wasn't a good storyteller. Man, that was a real moment for me. Here's the thing. I think we are all great storytellers. Stop for a second and think back to the last time something super crazy happened to you and how excited you were to tell everybody you ran into, even strangers, about that crazy incident. I'll bet you did a great job telling a very emotionally compelling story.
You guys are gonna make your pee pants.
That was the Dorkiest Family.
See, you've got it in you. So first of all, you are a great storyteller. You just have to believe in yourself. And secondly, you need to make a conscious effort to tell better stories. A few months ago, I posted a short vlog-style video on Facebook and YouTube, and a friend of mine watched it and he's like, Trevor, your life is so much more interesting than mine. Is it? Not really. I just took the interesting parts of my life, condensed them into 2 or 3 minutes, and suddenly, wow, my life is amazing. Everybody has interesting things that happen in their lives every single day. Write them down. Next tip is when creating videos, choose a story that will release the hormone you want released in your viewers' brains when watching your story. I talk a little bit about that in the video I referenced earlier right here. In real estate, there are many kinds of videos we can create, and some of those videos don't seem like they lend themselves very well to story. For example, the market update. The reality is nobody really cares about facts and figures. To make a market update more watchable, you should integrate some story. How do you do that? I've got some ideas. First of all, what is a story? A story is something that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Typically in a movie you have setup, conflict, and resolution. Remember, it's like that conflict, building the suspense, building that emotion, that I gotta know, that dopamine spike, followed by the resolution. Another way to look at it is you have a character that wants something, he overcomes some struggles to get it, and he is changed in the process. So any of those kind of rough structures will work for any story. Now the thing is, your video has to be about something. Sometimes, especially in like the vlogging world, people create stories like, here's my day, and it isn't really about anything in particular. It needs to be about something. How do you incorporate story in your business videos like a market update? The best way is to use personal stories, things that have actually happened to you, that you have an emotional investment in yourself, that you're emotionally attached to. Remember, we talked about writing down stories, writing down things that are happening in your life every day so you have stories to pull from. You want to find a story that relates even a little bit to what you are talking about. For example, for a potentially uber boring market update, it's probably a market update for a city that you live in. You could tell a story about how you came to live in that city, what you love about that city, how you thought about leaving that city to go live where your kids live in Utah instead. As a matter of fact, I made a video about a city I spent most of my life in, Simi Valley, right here. I incorporated story throughout that entire video. You should check it out to get some ideas. Another kind of video us real estate agents should be making is a business-to-business interview, where we interview other businesses. for the love of all things holy, don't ask them their address and their hours of operation and the average sales price of one of their products. Nobody cares. Ask them their story. Find out how they came to open a business in this city at this location, what their passion was. I made a video where I interviewed the owner of our CrossFit gym, Greg, and he has an amazing, compelling story. It's right here. I've heard the rest of it, stuff that's not even in that video, and he's got a crazy story, and that is far more compelling than knowing what time the gym opens and how many classes there are today. Okay, what if you just can't think of anything personal at all? You've never had a personal experience in your life that relates even remotely to what you're making the video about. Well, you could do a little cheat that my wife and I do sometimes, which is you go to a cool location. You go to a location that has a history, that has a story. So you're doing a market update in front of the house where Poltergeist was shot in Simi Valley. And you can talk about that house and what that house is worth today, and then show, 4 seconds of that house, going off into Never Neverland from the movie. It's probably okay. You probably won't get a strike on YouTube for doing that. And what if you just can't think of any interesting locations in your entire city? Well, there's a secret website I'm going to tell you about that only I know about, and now you're going to know about it too. The name of that website is... Just type in your city name and places of interest, and boom, you'll get a huge list of interesting places in your city that you probably didn't even know about. Read about one of those locations for 5 minutes, go shoot at that location and tell the story of that location. Whether it is the place your city started, whether the Indians lived there 6,000 years ago, whether your city was named after what happened at that very location, or, maybe movies were actually made there. There's a bunch of movies made around my city, and there's tons of cities around the country where that's the case. In fact, there's a beach near my house called Leo Carrillo where a bunch of movies were made, and I made a video from there, and that video is right here. And when you talk about movies and stuff that happened there, suddenly a potentially boring video becomes very interesting. Here's the thing, it shouldn't be a 90-minute feature-length film. It should just be a few sentences. You're incorporating some story into your video to suck your viewers in, to get them to feel something. Every location has some story to it, even a train station. In fact, I did a video at a train station right here. It was a market update, but it was more interesting because it was at a fun location. Okay, you have no personal stories. There's no interesting locations in your entire city, and you're desperate for a way to incorporate story into your video. Just do a tiny bit of research about whatever it is you are going to talk about in your video. There's a story behind it. What's the history of interest rates, of usury? What's the history of earnest money? What about the first grant deed? Who was the first guy to become a millionaire by buying real estate? It's unlimited. Just break out that magical website, Google, and do a tiny bit of research, and you can find the story of anything related to our business, which is real estate, and make your videos much more interesting and tell your viewers things they didn't know that they'll probably find fascinating. There's story around all of this stuff. You just gotta find one for every video. If you want more tips on creating great videos, go ahead and watch this video right here. It's pretty dang good. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. I can't wait to see the stories you have to tell.